Words about books, where my voice just gets much louder as soon as the recording button is hit. I'm
You see,
Nate.
it did. You went immediately up to almost red. That's the problem we had last time. We were like, oh, you're very, very quiet. Why don't you turn it up? And then as soon as we start recording, you're like, hey, guys, what's going on?
I need to make sure they hear me all the way in the back row. That's how that works.
You have like performance brain. Like you switch like key states or something. But yeah, we're back. We're still talking about Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. It rhymes. That is how you pronounce her name. Nate.
Yeah. I know. I told you that.
No, because you did it a couple of times in the last episode.
Flashback.
Sarah J Maas.
Is that how you say her name?
I hope. How would you say it?
Well, the audible person said Mass.
Okay, we can go with Mass.
There's a tweet. It's pronounced Mass. Okay. Oh, as in Massachusetts or Mass Effect. Yeah.
End of flashback.
I know how to pronounce it. She doesn't know how to spell it, okay? This one's on her.
So where did we leave off? I don't even remember.
You mentioned that the princess was secretly putting chalk, why am I blanking on it?
Word marks
with a Y. And we left off at the Oktoberfest and the ghost. And the ghost was like, hey,
it's
you need to...
I don't know why you're calling it Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest is what it is. Day of the Dead / Oktoberfest. So...
Yes, at their European Dios de los Muertos.
Yeah, the ghost of the first queen of Otterland, actually not part otter, and
Queen
she was
Serenity.
like, she's like, hey,
of the Moon
you know
Kingdom.
that thing you were going to do anyway? You know how you were going to become the champion? Like, that's your entire goal here? You gotta do that. She's like, okay, I can do that. And also, great evil coming from another dimension. All the wards are gonna fail. Barriers of our reality gonna fall. Everything's fucked. You gotta stop that too. I probably should have led with that one. That's kind of the bigger of the two, but do both those things.
Do you have any advice on how I might go about stopping that?
I have some advice. Oh no, I'm being taken away.
I'm gonna use my last few minutes to comment, like, isn't it weird how my name's Elena and your name's Selena? And like, that's really similar. And we're probably related. Goodbye. Like Aragorn, son of Arathorn. A little language there. But yeah. We got the Moon Princess, or we got the Moon Queen, the Moon Princess, and Prince Endymion, and
Just
Prince
more
Endymion's
goddamn
guard.
Sailor Moon is what you're telling me.
I think, who would this be? Malachite, I guess, would be the best analog for the captain of the guard. I guess Malachite was the captain of the guard.
Do they get into a threesome or
no?
There's not happening here either, I guess. No matter how much I wanted to break the conventional romantic norms. Okay, if you got two dudes who want you, why not, right? Team Jake word.
This is my boyfriend Dorian, and this is his boyfriend KL.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we're back. She's got to finish the competition. She's got to win, save the world, becoming. They do tell her some stuff about how, like, oh, if you become the champion, you'll be a champion of the people. You'll be able to like
I don't think she
make
figures that out until later.
make sure that the right people don't get killed. They mention like it should be you and not somebody cruel at this point, and it's like I don't know. I don't know if that's how that works.
It should be you who's doing all these murderings.
Like I don't know if you can be a wholesome CIA agent, you know?
Well, that's what she's going to try. Let's not discount the fact that she spent the last, I don't know, 6 years of her life murdering people.
So we're told.
Did did she only murder bad people? In the same way Kale has never killed someone despite being captain of the guard?
No, I mean she says she's the only thing she wouldn't do was I don't know, like women and children, something like that.
Well, what if there's a woman who's like really awful and like needs a good knife to the face, Ben?
And maybe she smokes an opium pipe.
Yeah. What if someone like that came along? What are we gonna do then?
Well, you're gonna have to get yourself a different assassin. She doesn't do that. But you could probably poison the opium. It wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, it sounds really easy, actually. Oh, you don't even need to poison the opium, because if she gets high, how dangerous is she gonna be?
Well, you want it to look like an overdose.
Yeah, that's not my style. My style is someone clearly snuck in here and stabbed them in the face.
My style is
I'm an artist.
like yeah, so like you see when I kill somebody, I don't want to just ruin the life of them and their family. I want to ruin the life of the person who finds them. I want that person, that maid, to never be the same again.
Yeah, if I'm not causing maximum PTSD, then what am I even doing here?
Yeah. Meanwhile, then there's Kaol, who's still figuring out swords kill people, and that
He didn't know that before. He knew that like you
he
could use them to fight, but like he didn't know that fighting could lead to death. Okay, that's crazy.
that's insane. That's still like I don't. You know, you criticize me for Sailor Moon, but it's very anime. The whole story is very anime.
It is. It is. So we have another dead champion, Ben. Another one.
Oh no, is it
And
somebody we care about?
it is, hold on, let me check my notes. Some guy. He doesn't even have a name. He was one of those other random guys. He's dead. He
What
was
was his deal?
eaten, and these drunken bar fights are starting to get out of hand. You know, like
I think
people
maybe
keep,
he ate himself.
yeah.
Like
There's a
the
have
killer
we
just leaves
explored that option?
a fork and knife in the guy's hands. And like, you know, maybe he just went nuts and ate himself.
So
That happens sometimes.
so they actually go to this body, and by they I mean our point of view character Selena. She didn't get to see the other bodies, but she sees. Oh no, maybe this is Varen. I almost called him Vernon, but there's not another N there. He was
You could have told
Kane's.
me he was Vernon, and I would have been okay with it.
He was
I have no
Kane's
idea.
number 2 guy until he wasn't, and
Oh no!
he apparently he approached whoever killed him um, openly, I guess, and he got his ankles cut so he couldn't run, and then a beast got him
But
and
you know
sharpened its claws on the stone.
way more detail about this than I do.
This is the only one they talked about, and they're like, who could have lured Varen? I keep wanting to mispronounce his name. Who could have lured Varen, that guy, to his doom? Who does he know? Who would he trust to go, and who would then have the skill to disable him like this?
Kane, could you get your ever increasing muscles out of here? I'm trying to think.
I'm thinking maybe it's the Princess of Heelway. She's got all the motive and motivation in that
She's
she
she's
hates
foreign. She
people.
doesn't look like us. She knows
She has a
languages
different.
we don't.
Yeah, she has a different culture. It's got to be her.
Yeah, I mean, she has every reason to care about this. She has every reason to care about otters killing each other.
I'm not from here! I have my own customs! Look at my crazy passport!
Like, she doesn't even know there's a tournament until towards the end of it when Selena comes clean to her and is like, yeah, I'm an assassin and I'm trying to become this champion. And that's when she's like, you can become our champion, but still draw a paycheck from the king because he pays better.
You could become the people's champion.
Yeah.
After
Dwayne the Rock Johnson gave it up by being a tool, you could take that place. Although Muhammad Ali's wife did give Dwayne the Rock Johnson a custom-made championship at the Hall of Fame for the People's Championship, Ben. So we're gonna have to take that back too. This is all weird trivia I'm dropping
That's
on
a
you.
lot of, yeah, I mean, that's a complicated night. I have a lot of respect for Muhammad Ali and his wife, I guess. And
his wife, I guess.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
she was
I don't know
probably
his
fine.
wife.
I don't know anything about her, yeah. But I mean, he was cool. Maybe he's a good judge of character, you know? He was cool. Wow, huh. Seems like a high honor for Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. I mean, like, I don't fully understand championships in wrestling and why they're an achievement. Like, I understand that they are an achievement, that the person has to work very hard to.
You're the best, Ben.
The best at what?
Being a wrestler, Ben. In
Yeah,
kayfabe.
I guess.
In the real world, it means you're the guy that they're going to build the company around.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But Selena's not trying to be. Well, I guess she is trying to be the people's champion.
Yeah, she's trying to be the people's champion. She's
Yeah.
got a. Am I going to turn this into a wrestling one? Like how last one I put a lot of Hell's Kitchen in?
I don't know. Is Hell's Kitchen still going? Are you still doing that?
I don't know, Ben. Do I want to repeat that? I don't think so, because I did enough of the contest. There's a knife throwing contest. There's a poison arranging contest.
Okay, can you explain something to me? I kind of lost the thread in the story about this. I was to understand at the beginning of this book that we were engaging in a battle to the death.
Yeah.
Right? And that these people were going to give it their all because it was better to die striving for freedom than it was to go back to where they came from. Like, I was to understand all of these people came from some place like almost as hellacious as Selena. And then people are taking the wrong poison right and left, and they're saving them. They got antidotes right over here. They got the training wheels on.
Yeah,
them.
we're
There's
saving you. We're saving you so we can put you back in that jail.
Why would anyone want that?
Because the king is all about torturing you. Don't you remember Selena?
Oh yeah, the salt mine. That's not really for
got,
salt.
She got horribly injured, and the king was like, "No, heal her back up. She's gonna keep mining."
Well, I understand that for her, but like, what I don't understand is they're not battling to the death. Very specifically, at the end, the final duel, they're like, "If you kill them, you lose." Why?
Yeah.
Who cares? Why do you care? I guess that's my thing. Like, I know why
Again, Ben,
person
why
would
this
care.
entire contest would he very clearly wants Kane to be his champion.
Well, like, I understand why like a normal person would care. But I don't understand why the king is like, okay, but like Roll for non-lethal damage.
What if Kane accidentally killed Selena at the end? Was he going to be like, well, sorry, Kane, you broke the rules. You're going back.
No. He was going to be like, do
I'm
whatever
sorry.
you want.
I guess we're going to do third place is my champion now.
Well, because that's the thing. They were planning to kill Selena. They were planning to make it look like she died in the fight. But then they weren't supposed to kill anybody in the fight.
Well,
they're
Ben,
like, oh, we got to drug her slightly.
You may have exposed a flaw in the plan here.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm honestly wondering, have I missed something?
No, that sounds right. They at the very end they go, no lethal damage is allowed, but then they poison her.
Did you understand it to be a fight to the death at the beginning?
I understood it to be a fight to the death for the final four, and that everyone else would be carted off to their own hole at the end once they're eliminated.
You see, I just thought this whole thing was going to be like the Hunger Games, like you're just dying.
That'd be nice.
We're just going to churn through you. And like, since most of them end up, since most of them end up dying anyway, I don't understand why it wasn't like that. You're like, oh man, this assassin competition's getting really, really deadly. I think we're like Kale's sitting there like the mayor or the sheriff in Jaws, like, I think we got to call off the assassin competition. Too many of these contestants are dying. And like, what? What? Anyway, that confused me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. It's very PG-13 assassin competition.
Yeah, and the ghost of Vaterland's past is here to tell Selena that her salvation is on the right. Look to the right. And she's like, I don't know what that means. Goodbye. So, in the poison
Republican
competition. I'm going to have to cut that out.
No, Selena's salvation is on the right.
I'm going to
of
have
the
to
political
that.
spectrum. Don't bleep it.
I cannot in good conscience.
Elena couldn't be more clear, and she's an old queen, so she knows a thing or two about politics. All the solutions to society's problems are on the right.
Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
You got to give as much tax breaks and business incentives to the high ups, and then it'll trickle down.
Selena, it'll trickle down. You got to do it, Selena. It's all going to trickle down, and yada yada. What's that thing that Judeo-Christian values?
More of one of those two things, but yeah.
more one than the other. But like, if we say both, it makes it sound like not as closed-minded.
Yeah. Exactly. This is great.
Yeah, so there's a series of circumstances in which the solutions to many problems are to her right.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
And also in the poison competition, she's like, I can't tell if this is wine or if there's a poison in there. I can't tell if this water is like water or not. Like, what could be tasteless and odorless and maybe that stuff the Jedi could have consumed. Anyway,
carbon monoxide.
Perfect. And then she looks to her right, and I think she sees Knox, her good friend whose life she saved, and Knox very clearly He's a poison guy.
Nope, you're wrong.
Oh, it's not Knox.
It's not
No,
Knox.
he's the jewel thief.
It's a third guy
It is.
who
Hold
she
on.
was kind of nice
Let
to
me
one time.
see. Let me see my notes. Not Renault. I give up. Who is he?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I don't know.
All right.
I just know it's not Knox. It's a
All
third
right.
guy. It's okay, I can describe him physically. He's young. He's scrawny.
That's the same guy.
It's not. It's not Knox.
Is
Knox
it
is an
paler?
older gentleman. It could be paler, paler.
Palor? I don't know. He wasn't
could be.
super important, and he disappears at some point. But
Yeah. What
assume-
happened to him?
I think was he the guy who was like, even if I lose, my sponsor said I won't go back. So, he has no motivation to not lose, and so he loses. So I assume he's fine.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, no. He was a
don't
poisons
know.
expert. That was his thing.
Yeah, and he was on the right, and he was
on the
talking
right.
about family values. So, that caught her eye, and she was like, yes, there should be a man, a woman, and 2.5 children and their pets in a suburban white picket fenced house. And also, that's just wine. There's no poison in there. I'm gonna drink this. And there was no poison in there, Ben.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the poison contest.
You gotta rank it by how poisonous the poison is, and then you drink the one that you say is the least poisonous. Whoever
Right.
gets it most wrong is eliminated,
But shouldn't they?
but not from life.
Shouldn't they do it? I mean, I think Selena even says this. Like, shouldn't they not be doing the test in front of each other?
And
This kid told the whole room he was a
answer your
poisons
statement.
expert.
To answer your question, shut up. It's the Mario Party 3 game where you have to remember where all the little articles of clothing go, and at the end you can throw a cover over it all so they can't screen look, but I am screen looking the whole time, and I am just cheating off of you. And we will absolutely end up with the same score.
I cannot believe you remember which Mario Party a particular minigame belongs to. That's insane to me. There's like 50 of them. But
there's only like 13.
Oh my god. Why? Oh my god.
Because it's a party, Ben.
It feels like one. So, do you remember the name of the poison? Because it's relevant, and this is foreshadowing.
Super hemlock.
It was not super hemlock.
That's what it reminded
Hemlock
me.
was one of the poisons.
Okay, see? I got it somewhat right.
It was like, I don't know. Let's just, okay, nobody's going to remember this. Tiger blood.
I remember.
Nobody's going to remember that. Let's just say
I remember, and in fact, a month ago, I watched a video discussing the final episode of that sitcom, even though I never watched the sitcom. And don't ever want to. Anyway, Bloodbane.
Bloodbane. It's the bane of blood. It turns your blood to sludge.
And yeah, foreshadowing, that's going to come up later. So, we already talked about this, but this is when the king slaughters 500 prisoners of war, including women and children, because some of them tried to escape, and he was like, all right, guess they all have to die. And during this time, she also reads some porn books. But then, wait a minute, no, back to the 500 dead people. This is when she has 2 back-to-back scenes with both of her potential love interests. as they come into the room and talk about how, like, man, that is awful what my country is doing.
I remember
And
this.
like,
This is
I'm not one of the bad ones, and I'm really sorry that our country is garbage.
But wasn't she like on her period or something?
With the captain of the guard, she kept trying to tell him to leave, and he was like, well, I just want to say that, like, I would never order my men to kill women and children. And then she starts throwing up, and he's like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. And she was like, I'm on my period.
Oh, for a second I thought we were jogging.
Got him.
Got him.
And then right after that, after she gets someone to attend to her, the prince comes in and is like, I'm disgusted by what my country is doing. I'm also not one of the bad ones.
I really thought you were going to say the prince walks in and he's like, I'm disgusted by your body and what it's doing right now. You should be removed to some kind of shed until this is over and then ritualistically forced to cleanse yourself, okay?
Jesus Christ. That is the Otterland way, though.
Well, she is having fun with that period joke. That goes on for a minute.
The Tina Fey. Just my period.
Oh, my period.
You're all fired.
Oh, my period. You're all fired.
Yeah, then there's another ball, this time for the winter festival.
Yulemas.
Yule. Yeah, because they're
okay.
godless.
You could say that one.
Jesus didn't come in here and save them, so
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, once the portal between worlds drops, he's gonna come through.
He's
gonna
coming.
save everyone.
Better
hope you get first time Jesus and not second coming Jesus, because that guy has a flaming sword. I understand.
Yeah, no. When Jesus comes back, he's not here to save.
So
Ragnarok Jesus.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention that she has a whole thing with Cain. I don't know how I missed that. Hey, it's Ed or Nate, and I was planning on recutting this next section and make it all make sense, but then I thought, you're all reading the book with us anyway, right? Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So, you'll recognize that I made an error, and you'll figure it out. It'll all make sense to you. We'll all have a good laugh about it. And also, I'm really, really lazy. Like, unbelievably lazy. I don't want to do it. So the other thing where on her right is the solution, Ben. She goes down to the crypt and she's like, oh, there's footprints down here. And she finds that Cain is summoning a Ritterak. And it's a big motherfucker. Do you remember how it's described other than as an abomination?
I pictured it as kind of oh golly, what were they called? The mage hunting the mage hunting demons from World of Warcraft is kind of what I was picturing.
Sure, I don't know that reference, but yeah. It looks like an ugly...
I'm sure it's also a thing in D&D, but I can't remember it.
Furless wolf with double joints and big claws, and it looks fucking gross. Anyway, he summons this thing and it's going to eat her, but she remembers that her salvation's on the right.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
And she pulls out her Bible and inspirational quotes from Ronald Reagan, which is in her right breast pocket, and that distracts it long enough for her to go right into a tomb, which has the sword of the first king of Otterland, which she then uses to cut through it like butter, and it dies. So, anything more you want to add to that, or can we go back to the pre-Jesus Yule Mass Festival?
I still don't know what this is called. Sorry, this is fucking me up.
That looks like one of the things you kill for pelts in like the starting area of World of Warcraft.
Fell Hunter. It's a Fell Hunter. It's a warlock pet.
So, back to the Yule Mass Festival of Winter. They're like, sorry, you're not allowed to this party either. And she's like, why can't I join your party?
They never answered that, by the way.
Because you're an assassin, but also
they're all
Nox
assassins.
is there.
Freaking Kane's there.
Yeah, but he's a soldier or some shit. And
he
also
eats people. I just saw
his
him.
monster eats
okay.
people.
I just saw him conjuring a monster that eats people.
Yeah, but I've got to be there because what if the princess conjures a monster, right? Shit, is this before that? It must be.
Yeah, you got
before
things
that.
out
Look,
of order.
I got things out of order. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're going to have to fix this in editing.
No, I'm not doing that. We're all one take.
All one take. I mean, it could still be one take. You just fix it in editing.
Absolutely not.
You went back to go forward. That's incredible.
I did. All right, so we'll just explain real quick that I fucked up. I got it.
The solution was on your right, Nate. Why did you go left?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh, yeah, I accidentally introduced social medicine, and
your socialized healthcare took us down into a demon pit before it was time.
All right, so I'm just gonna have to. There's
freedom of choice your way out of this.
There's my explanation right.
Well, I mean, freedom of some choices. Okay, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, I'm pro.
Like choices. Look. You know what I'm about. You all know what's on the right.
Okay, so. Okay. Well. Yeah, that sure was my bad. I got everything out of order. So back to the ball. She ends up getting her way into the ball, right? And then
she just puts on a dress and walks in. It wasn't that hard.
And yeah, these guards kind of suck. Presumably, they have also never killed anyone. And she gets in there, and everyone's jaw hits the floor. Everyone wants to talk with her. Yada yada yada. She ends up, I assume, grinding up on Dorian or
no. She dances with Kaol, and the whole time Dorian's like trying to be nonchalant about it, but he keeps like dancing past her, just like glaring. He's like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Oh yeah, having a little dance there. Okay, whatever. Yeah, fine. Oh hey guys, just having a little dance now. That's fine. Yeah, no, whatever you do.
Yeah. But then she ends up kissing the fuck out of Dorian after this. So who really won the night, huh?
I mean, Dorian's life is better in every conceivable way than Kaol's. I don't know. Dorian ends the story like mildly rejected by his girlfriend, and Kaol ends the story just completely traumatized.
What have I become?
Scrubbing his hands raw in a sink because the blood won't come off.
It was too easy to kill that man. I just put my sword in him and he died. I did what?
Kaol's having some weird Macbeth arc over here, and Dorian.
What have I become? Fucking cool. That's what you've become.
Yeah, yeah. You finally got interesting, Kaol. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it by being a baby.
So, all right, then
It'd make
editor
you feel better
Nate.
if I told you that guy eats people.
Yeah. And okay, the whole time she's also keeping an eye on the princess. And she's like, is she going to summon a monster and eat everyone at the ball? Oh, nope, she's leaving. Okay.
Can we go
Well.
back to like, and why would you stop her? Okay, save Dorian, whatever. I'm with you there. He's a nice guy. I like him. I like Kale too. Everyone else sucks.
Yeah.
If Nehemia's summoning demons, first off, if Nehemia's summoning demons to take out all your competition, that's awesome.
Yeah. Win-win.
Keep doing that. Yeah. You're an assassin
get Kane
too.
Next?
Yeah. Yo, that's the only mistake you've made, Nehemia. You got to get Kane.
I wonder why you haven't yet. This seems like the proper choice.
Yeah, but like other than that, it's like, yeah, kill the king, man. Put Dorian on the throne. He seems chill. I mean, at the very least, he's burdened with white guilt or something. So we can work with that, I guess. I don't know.
Look to your right.
You're right. You're right.
They brought us whole binders full of women.
I think we need to double down on working class, uneducated voters.
So now Editor Nate is going to make it all make sense, because I'm just going to cut in that part from before where she goes down into the labyrinth, but it will be in the proper order. And of course, you know that I did not. Editor Nate again, just, we all had a good laugh, right? I'm really lazy, guys. I'm not doing this. So now that she's killed the Ritterak, Ben, so it turns out, yeah, the princess is not, in fact, the bad guy. And she's like, I've been putting protective wards under your bed every goddamn night. You keep waking up and scrubbing them away? That's really pissing me off. Please stop doing that. And also, you're an assassin, but you could become the people's assassin. And
you know how that's a thing.
Yeah. And she's like,
it's like
all
Superman,
right.
But he gets shit done.
There you go. And she's like, you know what, Nehemia? I'll do it for you, even though this was my goal anyway. And she's like, great. And also, I kissed the shit out of Dorian. All right. Now we're going to go to the finale, because I'm pretty sure nothing else happens except for, I guess, Kaltane is like, I sure do hate that Lady What's-Her-Nuts. And the Duke is like, well, actually, Lady What's-Her-Nuts is actually Selena Sardathian, the world's biggest assassin. And you know what? How about you poison her wine drink in the finals?
Okay, well, she might be the world's greatest assassin, but Kane is the world's biggest assassin. And he just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. Kane thinks that he can defeat her all on his own, but I kind of think he sucks. So we're going to also poison her.
They're not wrong.
So, Selena also tells Nox, like, hey, you need to get out of here. Run away if you can. And so he does. And now we're down to 4.
Yeah, can we... I'm confused again, Nate. I'm real confused again. You remember how the last guy that tried to just leave was just shot multiple times on site?
My assumption is that he did the thing that Selena did. He had a secret passage in his room. He wormed his way into the crypt. He found a way out of the castle, and he used that, and he ran. That's my assumption.
Why didn't he do that from the beginning?
Because he was going to win this whole damn competition. No, he was going to steal the jewel of Kane's heart, Ben.
Nox
and Kane was going to spare him.
No plan.
And Nox was going to kick him right in the dick, and he was going to roll him up in a schoolboy and pin him and win, okay?
Is a schoolboy a move?
Yes.
Could we rename that?
No. Now I'm kind of curious. Why is it called a schoolboy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called a schoolboy, Ben.
Yeah. That's maybe something you should interrogate, but I don't know. Look to the right.
Read my lips. No new
Hey, it's Ed or Nate again. I found out it is called a schoolboy because you trip them like they're at school again. I don't know. That's the best explanation we had. Ben, of course, is always going to the homoerotic stuff. Get your mind out of the gutter, Ben. It's just two dudes wrestling. Don't bring in weird sex stuff to this.
Anyway, no, Knox had no plan. If he could leave, he should have left. Why was he there?
Because Ben, you don't understand. He could.
I don't
Done it.
understand.
He could have done it. He could have done it, Ben.
Then why didn't he stay?
Because once he learned that Selena was in fact the world's greatest assassin,
He
was
also
like, well,
met a
shit.
fortune cookie ghost that was like, look to the left, and Selena was standing on his left when she said it, and he was like, shit.
Yeah, and now he's going to break out, and he's going to try to bring socialized medicine and you know, steal all of our hearts.
Yeah, all of our hearts and our hard-earned money.
Yeah. We send 260 million pounds to the EU. We should get it back and put it in our hospitals. But once you vote for that, hold on. That's not what I say. Hide that bus. Burn those photos. I didn't say that, all right? Look to the right.
Look to the right.
I do not like this, Uncle Sam. I do not like his healthcare scam.
God, that's gonna be like that should be their slogan.
Look to the right.
Look to the right. It's not bad.
Better than Biden his time.
Much later.
Deals me out. So like I don't know how you're gonna edit this, but to the average listener, just know, like literally every time we said look to the right, it has turned into a lengthy political rant. And I wish we could stop saying it, but I don't know if we're done.
I can't, Ben. I can't stop ruining things. Look to the right.
For the love of God, don't vote for Donald Trump. If you're an American, just God damn it, don't do the stupid meme for once, guys. We can't take it.
God.
We're memed out.
And this is coming from two white guys who will be probably the least impacted by his terrible decisions. But still, stop. Don't do that. Alright, so finals, Ben. Because since Knox ran away, it's now up to Selena and Kane and Grave and Renault.
You want to just skip the other ones?
Grave was a guy they kept mentioning, and he tried to kill Knox, and she kicked his ass effortlessly. Now we do a toast to the king. Everyone raise your wine glasses and drink heartily. Drink all of it. Drink. I want every last drop, okay? Where are you dying? But there's nothing wrong with your wine. Just drink it. And she does.
You're a master assassin, right? You can tell every poison that could ever be placed in a cup, right? We already tested you on that. Be pretty embarrassing to lose now. And I will say at the end of the book, she gets poisoned, obviously. A lady pipe smoker. Shit, what's her name? That sounds
Kaltane.
bad. That sounds like a sick. Lady Kaltane poisons her wine with the blood bane that she couldn't detect. And the king at the end, is talking to his son, and Dorian's like, she was poisoned, father. And he's like, well, she should have detected the poison. And like, he sucks, the king, but like, he's not wrong. Like, we tested them on that for a reason. And she failed. I I should have poisoned all the contestants before the contest. That would have been hilarious. But it turns out, like, I've been thinking about it, Dorian, and poison is just a really good way to get rid of people. And I'm starting to think I don't need a weird kung fu assassin.
Well,
I think I could just get by with an army and a bunch of guys to poison people.
Nope.
No,
Sorry,
no,
but you can't.
poison's awesome. Lady Caltaine almost killed the greatest assassin in the world. That's how amazing this shit is.
Well, that doesn't happen. We're going to rewind now. All right, so she was pointed out by Kale, like, he doesn't guard his right side because he's an idiot. Go for that. And so she parries and she deflects, and then she gets him in the right side, but it doesn't have her full force behind it. By the way, she's also using like a bamboo staff or whatever from Eelway so that she could, an Eelway weapon will beat the steel of Otterland, even if their people are constantly being slaughtered. And like, but it's a symbolic victory, Ben. It's a symbolic victory. Shut your mouth. She's the people's champion, all right? But she doesn't hit him hard enough. And I'm just saying that, like, if that were a sword, would have been over. Doesn't matter how little strength she does or doesn't.
You don't have to hit somebody very hard with a sword.
Yeah. So he's like, what's the matter? You haven't been eating people like I have? You're looking a little gray there. I think maybe you had a little bit too much to drink. Hardy har har. And then they're fighting, and she realizes she's been poisoned, and then he's beaten on her, and then he's beaten on her, and he's beaten on her, and he's beaten on her, and he's beaten on her some more, and he's just beaten on her, and he's beaten her. He's doing some showboating. Now he's beating her again. It's just beaten on her, and then the princess comes over and starts doing Naruto hand signs to summon.
Oh, I just pictured it. So stupid. So she's been poisoned, right, with this drug. Now, wouldn't you know, this drug also makes you hallucinate, and shaman use it in their rituals and vision seeking, and it lets her see into the spirit world. And what's actually happening, in addition to just getting her ass kicked, is there's a big like spiritual battle going on. And we didn't mention this because frankly we forgot, but she received an amulet from Lady Elena. And there's all these evil spirits swirling around, and they can't get to her because of the protective amulet from Lady Elena. That was really important, and we probably should have mentioned. It hangs slightly to the right, and and it gets ripped off, and then all the evil spirits start attacking her. So she's getting punched, kicked, stabbed, and evil spirits are clawing at her psyche. And Nehemia is over there like Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, trying to like ward off the evil spirits, and she claws her way back to the amulet, and it's all getting crazy. And then Nehemia opens a portal to the other side, I guess, and Queen Elena pops through, and she does a moon healing escalation, and she can't do anything else. Like,
Nope.
I
She tells her to look to the right.
look to the right. You've been doing that, right? Like,
Keep
I don't
doing
want you
that.
getting any ideas. Like a flat tax rate is what this kingdom needs. Okay, you can't alienate business interests. They're job creators, Selena. They're job
Yeah.
creators.
And
And
you got to eliminate that whole Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. When no one's looking, you gotta like start pulling that back. Start pulling that back, okay?
if God wanted children to survive, he wouldn't have invented measles. Now, so she comes through and she literally tells Selena, she's like, the only thing I can do is remove the poison from your body, which seems like a really specific thing to be able to do, the mechanisms of which would imply that you could do other things. But frankly, she's busy right now, was not expecting this call, and she's only got 5 minutes. So, moon healing escalation, and she's gone. Poof. But Selena's got her mojo back. And she looks to the right and starts slashing social programs and just cuts through Kane's education plan, and she just sticks it right in the heart of school lunches. And
But don't
Kane,
worry, she masked it by saying school choice. Okay, we're all
yeah,
about choice over here.
she stops at the
In some
final.
cases,
She doesn't quite slash his throat on the steps of Capitol Hill. She's like, I'm gonna give him a voucher. I'm gonna give him a voucher, and he can go to whatever school he wants, right?
Oh, fucking God. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, she's like, I win, right? I win, and everybody's like, you win, you did it. But then Kane gets up, and he's like,
He looks to the
presidential
left.
veto.
There you go.
And then Chaol's like, I know a place where the Constitution means nothing. And he stabs him with the full force of the Supreme Court. It's also perhaps later than we usually record.
Oh God.
And things are a little looser than maybe they otherwise would be. So anyway, Kane literally does stick a sword into, or not Kane, other way around. Chaol sticks a sword into Kane, and then he's like, "Oh my God, I killed him. What have I done?" And I don't want to be insensitive again. Like, I know
She's
it's
like,
a
it
big.
wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. I know when I did my first kill, it was really hard. And he's like, but it's not hard. That's the problem. It was so easy. Just
Well,
like that line Batman said from the Red Hood. It would be too easy to kill the Joker. That's what I've become now. I've become the edgy Robin. The better edgy Robin. Damian Wayne fucking sucks.
Kane,
That's
would it help?
Kale said those words. He agrees with me.
Kane, would it help? Or not Kane, Chaol. I don't know why I keep getting them messed up. Chaol, would it help if I told you he was like half made of demons?
I wish that she did tell him that. That would have helped. Kale,
Yeah, that probably would have helped. Like,
Kale, he kept having demons eat other people's brains.
and you know
that
that.
was
You were
him.
the lead investigator. Like, he could put that together. Chaol's not a moron. Kale's like, oh, I'm not even going to carry a sword anymore because it's a weapon that kills people. And it's like, Kale, literally, man, if you aren't gonna kill that guy, literally, if you
Turn in
can't
your
kill
badge.
that guy, you shouldn't carry a sword.
Yeah, turn in your badge and your sword. You're off the force, Kale. And then Caltaine turns to the Duke and goes, "But she won. She wasn't supposed to win after I poisoned her." And the Duke was like, "Oh no, you poisoned her! Oh my
The Duke was like,
god!"
why would you poison her?
Don't worry, big guy. I'm taking care of our little problem.
Our little problem? Son, what were you thinking?
What was I thinking? I told you everything I was doing. You were involved every step of the way.
I have no recollection of the event in question.
You told me to poison her. Well, I certainly don't remember that conversation. No, you
Guards
poisoned
arrest her.
her.
Guards
Yes,
arrest her
arrest
at once. Yeah. Can't believe she'd do that all on her own. I don't know how she even got that bloodbane, but wow. And then at the end, Selena's like, "Sorry, Dorian, we can't be together because this is going to be a multi-book series, and it has to be a will they, won't they thing, or people might lose interest." And he's like, "Ah, I'll see you next book." And then she's like, "Great, I'm the champion now. Mission accomplished." And then the Duke and the King have a shady meeting about how they're manipulating people with magic and they're evil, and then the credits roll.
Well, then he has her sign some stuff. There's a
Yeah,
big
non-compete
ceremony.
clause and
Yeah.
the FTC. You look to the right, you got to get rid of that FTC because they're gonna get in the way of your business. So.
Regulation slows down innovation.
Yeah,
Selena, you're gonna have to slice through that red tape. Take Kale's sword. He's not using it. Slice through that red tape.
Using it. So, yeah, that's it, Ben. We vanquished. Hold on, Kane. That guy. Yeah. The end. So, what'd you think, Ben?
Well, I think that's the question for the rubric.
I haven't even rubric this yet, so let me just see what I'm gonna do.
Anything could happen.
I got Gin and Daggers where I wrote just like, It's the most mid book, solid 3 all the way down.
Well, let me know when you're ready.
All right, Ben. Content and ideas.
I would say probably
leaning towards a 3, Ben.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a 3.
There's a lot of stuff that is underdeveloped.
It's tough.
I spoke with a friend who read the entire series, and after I told him this book, so Court of Thorns and Roses, I know I'm comparing it to that, but Court of Thorns and Roses, it has a main villain that it alludes to, like the evil king, but the first book really plays up the evil queen, who's like his lieutenant, and that's who they defeat in that book. And it feels like a lot has happened in that book. Something notable has changed. A battle was won that was important. This book, they beat Kane. And I told him it feels like this is a prequel book to the actual series, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't really argue with that."
So going along with the Court of Thorns and Roses comparison, we have the main difference is the fanficky way this one starts. In A Court of Thorns and Roses, I think she made a good choice to have the protagonist start out with a little bit more room to grow. And by the end of the first book of A Court of Thorns and like by the end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, you feel like a lot has happened because our main character has grown. She's gone through like a full hero's journey. She's reached her dark night of the soul moment and gotten through it, and she gets that big surprise at the end. It's this but better. Yeah, I mean she has been refining a very similar sort of story for most of her writing career, it seems. And this isn't the best version of it, nor is it a particularly original fantasy romance. I mean, we could compare it to a dozen other books. We could compare it to Sailor Moon, which I think what Sarah J Maas tapped into here that was maybe underserved at the time, or undermarketed at the very least, is that fusion of the of the like anime shoujo josei like story beats and power-ups and stuff like that with the Western fantasy romance. So it's not nothing but underdeveloped, and maybe even like underdeveloped in some areas, massively overdeveloped in the others. It's way too fanficky to get much more than a 3. And that may be an unpopular opinion, but
Probably.
it's
What do you think of organization, Ben?
3. It doesn't make great use of its page count.
I would agree that it's very slow in the beginning, and it doesn't start to pick up until we are well into the book.
Yeah, I wouldn't go so far. The rubric says for a 3, it's a little too fast or a little too slow. Both at different times, and it doesn't quite go into a 2 where I would call it ineffective. But certainly, if I had just been a reader, let's say a friend recommended this to me. I'm not doing it for a podcast, and I haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I would be very off put by the first 100 pages.
Yeah.
Sarah J Maas, like, my goodwill towards this book lives on a lot of benefit of the doubt that I don't know if I would have given this otherwise. I kind of had my, like, Tim, I don't know if you've ever watched like Tim Rogers video game reviews.
Yeah.
He has this concept he calls the good time hat, where you can enjoy any game you play as long as you put on your good time hat first, and like you decide you're going to enjoy it. You will enjoy it. That's kind of what happened to me here. Is I had my good time hat on I had my good time hat on reading this book, so I did enjoy it. But to be fair and objective, fair and balanced, I believe those who look to the right would say.
Use of language.
3, pretty
3.
simple.
Yeah.
Not trying to do anything fancy here. Not making great use of its fantasy setting to do anything interesting with the language. All of the foreign language stuff is just, she said in a foreign language. So, yeah, can't help you there.
Personal preference, Ben.
This is where I can help it. A 4.
Yeah, I would agree.
Had a good time. There's some caveats. Like I said, I had my good time hat on, but I did have fun. I could read more of this if I was bored. I think I want to get through the other stuff first, and this lady writes so much that I don't know if I'll ever have time to come back around to the rest of this series, but I'm open to it.
And then recommendations, I am probably going to differ from you. I'm going with a 3 because I don't know where the rest of the series is going. So it's hard to recommend anything above a weak recommendation right now.
I think I'd go for a 4
Yeah,
for
I
recommendation
figured you
strength.
would, you coward.
Here's my 4 with a couple of caveats, I guess. So, do I recommend this to fantasy romance genre fans? Yeah. It's like I said early in the first episode with the Otome Isekai stuff. The people who like this sort of thing tend to read a lot of it, and they tend to not be able to get enough. And I think this is above average in terms of fun, maybe below average, or not below average, but definitely not like anything special in terms of quality. For general audiences, I think it's an accessible inroad into the genre. I think a lot of different people could come to this book and follow it without needing to get over the hurdle of a lot of like period drama type stuff or anything like that. Like how Game of Thrones is kind of an accessible epic fantasy. Not to compare this to Game of Thrones, I don't think it's that good, but I would probably recommend people start at A Court of Thorns and Roses, though, which,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty big knock against it, I think, in terms of recommendation strength, but I'm going to give it a 4 anyway. Though I will say there's one other little caveat that I didn't get to put in anywhere, is that I've noticed there's a pushback against the popularity of Sarah J Maas now. I don't know
Wow.
how much of that is like jealousy at her perceived unearned success, because I will say she is a very fortunate writer. Like I don't think the quality of her work necessarily deserves all of the attention it's gotten, but at the same time it's not like that's her fault. Any writer is obviously
I
going
feel
to do
like
the most they can.
it should be her fault, right?
Well, any writer is going to do the most they can to market their book and to get as much out of
Yeah,
their
like a
career as they
jerk,
can.
am I right? Gosh.
I don't know. I don't blame Sarah J Maas, but I could see an argument for her maybe being a little oversaturated in the market. Maybe it would be nice if the people who put things on shelves could maybe put something
Put
else on.
Edenverse on there? Yeah.
No.
$1 on Amazon.com. That's some quality. Or no,
Oh,
that's some value. No, that's some you get what you pay for.
you definitely get what you pay. You know the weird thing about Edenverse, Nate, I don't think we actually have the manuscript anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, unless you have it.
I'll have to dig around. I might.
Somebody asked for it. They asked if there was any way they could buy it not on Amazon. This was a long time ago.
Well,
I said
shit,
I'd look
you
into
should have
it.
told me. I'd be happy
I
to.
think if you have the
printed
EPUB or something,
I
you
think
did
we
not
can-
print
I
a
think we
physical
will write
book.
something. I did, Ben.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Oh God, no. Oh Jesus. I didn't know that was in the world.
If it helps, it was neglected at my parents' house, so.
Maybe we can sell you that.
There
We got one copy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Throne of Glass, pretty decent. Think we're gonna go back to the court of whatever and whoever.
Yeah.
It was a fun little detour. So it's take care of yourselves and look to the right.